Does anybody want to recap us, or would you like me to recap you guys since it's been well over a couple of months?
My fondest memory from last session is we bullied my character's whiny little brother into tears, and it was great.
Finley has never felt better in his life.
I was going to say, Gabriella's pretty thrilled to have bullied a rich person, but Gabriella, having a day job that involves, listening to people's, collective unconscious and dream stuff, is honestly just like having to be a little mean sometimes without having to like worry about like, oh, I have to maintain this rapport. Like, no, I could be mean to this foolish person.
Of course you can. And Adam Amesley is actually your older brother.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting
backstory still.
I knew we decided at some point, but I couldn't remember for sure. But his reaction to being disinherited was to join 2 different cults, start working with the Nazis, and then start blackmailing his own dad. And so my character's like, I feel better. You thought I was gonna be the one that ended up just going off of the rails, and then you... I'm disappointed.
We didn't quite Inglourious Bastards him, but we did it psychologically, so I'm
Yeah,
okay
we
with
psychologically.
God, that was great.
Psychological defeat.
Sometimes people need to be bullied out of their stupid ways. Especially if you go join 2 cults and work with the Nazis. I feel like you deserve getting bullied there.
Yeah. Just so long as the next person who punches him gets to be me.
Alright. So, you guys are in Amesley Manor Part 2. You're in Edinburgh, Scotland. And things are rather peaceful for the first time. You guys have slept since last we met. And you guys are waking up to the sun is shining, the birds are chirping. There's an annoying barn owl that has finally decided to sleep. And you guys are free to go about your business. Finley, you've been asked to review the artifacts that Adam has taken and go ahead and try and identify them or try and identify what they do.
I think you mean Freddy.
2 F names right next to each other.
Yeah, last we left off, I believe I was like, and I'm good, and I went to bed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bella, the dog, spent the night slept curled up next to me.
We have 2 dogs, 2 plot armors.
We do.
We had 2 plot armors. Our most powerful move, 2 dogs.
The bullets curve around them. Alright.
Yeah, I think Lizzie probably sleeps in. It's been a lot, and she's finally somewhere that feels comfortable and safe. So she probably wakes up to Bella licking her face because she wants either to have food or to go outside.
Bella wakes up about 8 o'clock and decides that she needs to go outside. She has like a little doggy door that goes in and out of the rooms. So she's able to just kind of let herself out, leaving you to sleep as much as you need. And you remember how peaceful it is to be in this house. You remember how far away you are from any of the hustle and bustle of London, how things here are a lot slower than most other places. But nonetheless, you have things that you could do. You have things that you might want to do. So we'll start off with Lizzie. What are you going to do today?
I think once she's fully woken up and takes a second to appreciate where she is and just how familiar and comfortable it is, she's going to start looking around to see what information she can find about what Adam's been up to. I know he didn't do a lot of work out of this house, probably, but just see what information she can find.
Alright, so you kind of want to snoop through the house.
Yeah. I know, I think Gabriel said that he had already checked all the places that Adam usually hides things.
Go ahead and roll spot hidden then.
Hard success.
You're looking through the house, and you start off with talking to Gabriel and Chef Roberts about your brother's habits. And they tell you that he came up to Edinburgh a few months ago, kind of when the bombing started, with a whole bunch of items in hand that they were interesting looking. He had said that he had been around a couple places and that he was in trouble and needed help. Since then, nothing's really come of it too much. The occasional onlooker, but everybody is kind of ogled at the manor that you're staying in right now. Other than that, you see him take off for the day. He goes into town to grab a few things, personal items. He doesn't really say much about where he's going, but you take that opportunity to kind of snoop through his things, and hidden on the top of his bedside table, like in a drawer in his bedside table, on the top of it is a whole bunch of letters that he's received over the past couple of years, as well as a journal. Would you like to read it?
Is this in Gabriel's room?
No, this is in Adam's room.
Oh. I remember we left Adam and he was basically just tied up and locked in a room with no way to call, with no, like, service bell.
No, he got released during the night and he was able to sleep.
Absolutely. I'm like, ew, this could be very interesting. Takes it all, goes into, like, either her parents' room or, like, if there's a study somewhere.
You head into one of the studies and you're going through the mail. One of them isn't a language you've never read before. It doesn't look like anything European. It doesn't look like anything Chinese or Japanese or anything like that. It resembles some of the figures that you've seen in the Green Wheel book that I think Gabriella has, right?
I think I had that book. I mean, I might have given it to someone else to look at, but I was the one who grabbed that.
No. Yeah, I don't think Gabrielle ever had hands on. If anything, she would want to avoid things that are marginally spooky at this juncture, but I don't think she ever had the book as, like, her possession. She might have, like, used it a few, like, looked through it once or twice.
So it's still in Lizzie's possession.
Yeah, Lizzie could probably take some of those letters and, like, tuck them in with the book. Because if I could ever figure out how to translate this, like, what the cipher is, then that could be a lot of information. That might not be information we want to have, but information is powerful.
And dangerous. So, the other letters, one of them's written completely in German.
Sets it aside to ask Finley about.
And then the other one is written in English. It's just talking about Adam was supposed to take from one place to another place, give details about it to the other parts of Twilight Shadow, or the other lodges of Twilight Shadow throughout England, wondering where he's been. They haven't heard from him in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm. She sets that one aside to talk to Gabriella about. Adam, it's like you go looking for trouble.
Which is absolutely confirmed in the journal that he's kept. So he details pretty much everything that he's gone through. He was looking for occult power stuff that your dad was into. At first to help your dad, and then later on he realized that your dad was getting old and that he could use all of this power for himself.
Does he mention why Dad got into this? Is there any mention of what sparked that, or did he not know?
No. According to your brother, it was something rather sudden that one day he just starts raving about certain places in the world that he wishes to visit, and then it turned into these ancient cultures long dead, and how many times that he talked about the Roman Republic and then the Roman Empire, followed by Samaria and Celtic. And he focused on the Celtic quite a bit. And then he starts talking about these cults that he's been in contact with, and it's all just this strangeness that is coming out of your father. But he's seen some of the things that your father interacted with, and he's seen how some of it actually worked, and he wants that for himself. So, in order to do that, he talked with Green Wheel and Twilight Shadow after your father's death. Basically took your father's status and everything within those organizations, was able to get a hold of ancient relics and artifacts that they had, and was contacted by the Nazis to sell it to them so that they could use it for them. And then the Blitz comes and he pretends that he was dead to outrun them all.
My father was part of both cults as well?
Yes. Yes, he was.
I think that part stumps her a little bit. I think at some point in reading, it starts getting dark and twisted, and she'll take everything and just relocate to like the kitchen or somewhere where there's like another person around. So it's starting to get eerie, and she just unsettling.
Killing rituals that he's done, and then the horror comes when you realize that he's actually sacrificed animals and people to get to his aims.
What the fuck?
It troubles him greatly, but hasn't stopped him yet. And at this point, Gabriella, you are awake and free to move about.
Lizzie's just like, how in the hell are we related?
Alright, big old house. I just finished bullying somebody. Feeling a little bit, as usual, like I can't sleep. Has any weirdness been going on since... Because I've been noticing a lot of those connections, like, and those old memories coming back. Have I noticed any more weirdness since I've started to reconnect with my hidden memories?
Well, as for this morning, the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the breeze is kind of drifting through a slightly open window. Bosco is standing at your bedside on his 2 feet, offering you coffee, and yeah, it's a pretty normal morning.
This is the first normal morning I've had in what feels like ages. And I pet Bosco, I get up and I stretch a little bit.
Bosco helps you to your feet and puts the coffee on your table.
So talented.
This is a dog.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Because if Bosco has thumbs, I have an issue.
At what point does Gabriella realize she's still dreaming?
Well, it's good to see you're up and about.
Oh yeah, like yeah. Now that I realize that Bosco's in a little butler outfit, there might be a problem.
It's good to see you're up and about, Master.
geez.
I hope you're doing well.
Wait, is this real? Is Bosco talking to me?
Bosco is perceivably talking to you.
Okay. Now I get up and I stretch and I take the coffee out of Bosco's hands.
All right. Just the way you like it. A couple of sugars, a little bit of cream.
You know, I never imagined you having a British accent. I just always like I got you here, and I guess that makes sense.
And as you say this, you blink,
know.
and Bosco's standing on the floor. There's no coffee in your hand. Bosco's just tilting his head at you.
If you ever talk, can you do it in front of other people too? I can't bear it if I have to be the one to say that you talk and then you never talk again.
Bosco whines a little bit and then barks at you, and then starts pawing at the door.
Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, let's get you out of here. And I slide the door open and rub my eyes a little bit just to make sure. And I go wash up and get ready for my day. See, like, kind of what's next on the docket for our plans.
As you do this, you see Lizzie is up and about, and that she's reading through a journal, and she looks pale-stricken. As she's flipping through this journal, she's on her way to the kitchen or downstairs right now, but she looks worried.
Is everything okay?
I found his journals and some of his correspondence, and holy hell, I can't even begin to imagine him being involved in some of this.
I mostly met him through correspondence before, and then when I met him, I'm not even sure that was really him.
I know, I'm talking about my brother.
Oh. Sorry. Correspondence, right. Also bad. Did we see this coming? Did you see him, like, kicking dogs as a kid? Like, was there history of this, or was it just, like, it developed over time?
I don't know, John, would there have been signs? Or was he just kind of just a general prick like some teenage boys are, which is probably one of the last times she saw him?
He was a genuine prick all through childhood.
Assigned asshole at birth.
It's not like he put your dog in an incinerator or anything, but if a dog got in his way, I'm sure he wouldn't have had a second thought about kicking it.
Dio!
Oh, some real villainous behavior, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's always been one of the biggest pricks I've ever known, but I didn't think he'd go quite as far as sacrificing people.
He what? You have to lead with it. He's people?
Just points to the passage where he talks about it.
We didn't bully him enough.
No, we didn't.
He should be in the gallows. Like, that's not, no. Okay, so involved in every single kind of cult, human sacrifice, and he's gotten on the wrong side of these people.
Yes, apparently he took father's positions in the cults, and I don't know how I feel about that. Or how he got involved in this, but that inspired Adam, and he just fell off the deep end. I find it genuinely frightening that I am related to him.
It's not by blood that you're made, so you turned out clearly fine from what I can tell.
I appreciate
Well, I guess
it.
all things considered, none of us are really fine given the circumstances, but...
Very true. Also, do you know anything about this? Pulls out the letter from Twilight Shadow people about the trouble he's in with them.
So, I know we were really harsh on cults and secret societies before, not 2 minutes ago. I lost a lot of my memories of when I met your father and traveled with the rest. And I felt a gnawing that something was missing. And it turns out when a lot of people talk to you about their problems, it's not that hard to figure out where secret societies meet. I made myself known, and I joined Twilight Shadow for information.
Of course, there's no judgment here. I just didn't know if you knew anything about whatever trouble he's gotten into with them.
No. It was mostly someone I knew from that. Generally helpful in procuring items that I needed, like my pistol and things of that nature, but still a jackass most of the time, and I never knew he was involved in anything this deep in, but I guess I never got deep enough in Twilight Shadow to really parse more beyond we're an upper crusty gentleman social club, and you are our token woman that is smart enough to hang with us. So that wasn't a fun experience, but I did get a gun and information out of it, so trade-offs, as it were.
And you know, Gabriella, that Twilight Shadow is typically benign.
Yeah, like they're a bunch of rich jack-offs. Like
It's supposed to be more of like a psychology sort of lodge sort of deal.
Yeah. Kind of working, probing people's thoughts and understanding the subconscious. A lot of stuff similar to my work. Obviously, I've tried to distance myself from... And it is always fun to remind them that people other than them exist. But benign, no sacrifices that I was aware of. But man really shopped around to every secret society possible, huh?
He certainly did. Certainly did. Also, he's left the house.
Is that wise? Should we have kept him under lock and key?
I am torn between not trusting him in the slightest now that I know this, and also realizing his best bet's probably to come back here given the amount of people who want to kill him.
Right. Granted, I guess it kind of depends how much information more do we think we could get out of this, because we have his journals and we know he's bad news. What should we do next?
That's when, Finley, you wake up. Good Morgan.
Oh no! But
oh yeah, you got super drunk.
So Finley just goes through his mind recounting the events from the night. He remembers he drank a lot, and then him. And then he confronted that little thing. He refuses to address him by his name. And then he raided the liquor cabinet and got drunker.
You look in a mirror and you see a mustache and like a monocle are drawn on your face.
No, he's literally a child bully. Oh gosh, even now.
He's a child bully that has sacrificed human beings.
Right, a child bully in final form.
Finley actually looks at the mirror and goes, "You know what? I actually would look this is my victory, child."
No, I won.
You guys hear this in the bathroom?
Finley proudly walks out just with the mustache and monocle. Just, it appears a child thought he was going to best me, but you know what? I'm going to wear this with pride because I know I gave him a good shiner. How are you ladies doing this morning?
Meanwhile, we're staring horrified at this notebook.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, are your... I point at your fists because they're likely like a little bit like a little messed up. Yeah.
They're a little swollen and red, and Finley's just, oh, no, I'm more worried about what are you okay?
I mean, I'm physically fine. I found out that, I guess he's a co-worker. Fellow society member? Adam sacrificed people. Among other things.
You just see a vein bulge on the right side of Finley's forehead. Just make me more reasons to hate him. I do apologize. That's your brother. I am not trying to be disrespectful.
I've never not wanted to be related to him as much as I do right now.
Yeah, I think we're all relatively in agreement that Adam is pond scum. And he left this morning, which can't be safe for him or us.
You know, it is very selfish for me to say, and no matter how rotten someone is, I was raised to believe there's good in everyone, but that Ashlo is a Doomkopf, and honestly, I do not care whatever happens to him. I am more worried about...
Oh, that reminds me. Can you read this?
What do we
Okay, hold on. That's written in German.
Wait, you can
Of
read.
course. But of course, Finley just gives a little light pats to the sides of his cheeks to wake himself up a little bit more. But of course, here, please, hand me the paper.
She just hands you the letter. The good news about him is even though he may be pure evil, he's still stupid.
And whoever wrote this has terrible handwriting.
And you are looking at a letter from a Commandant Schneider. detailing all the items that the Nazi Occult Society is looking for at the moment.
First things Finley just says is, Adam, Dummkopf, du bist ein großer Arschloch. Your brother's a moron.
Yes.
I'm just petting Bosco, like, oh, German is such a beautiful language.
Some point Bella's come back in. I've got her like in my lap and I'm giving her the ear scratches.
But yes, this is from a commandant, and it is everything that Nazi scientists are looking for. And once again, your brother is a moron if he is doing correspondence with a commandant.
I will admit I don't know much about the military, so I'm taking your word on that.
Does Adam use an embarrassing code name? Feels like he would.
Do you know what? I just see that little prick calling himself something like I am the green.
So we're getting
sea."
increasingly petty. This is a bad person. We have to like stop him. Like, I appreciate this. I'm on your wavelength. I am very much connecting with you on a level that I understand you. We should really stop him as like a point of morality.
But on a very serious note, on what I mean by the seriousness of a commandant, that is a high-ranking military official, and with everything that's going on and the Nazis, that means he has access to certain troops, and I don't want us around if that Dummkopf is going to have them come for us. Let's get out of here.
The good news is we know what they're looking for now. And if Freddy can help us find which of the artifacts are those, perhaps between her and myself, we could make sure they're hidden, never to be found. Last thing I want is the Nazis getting their hands on anything that they're looking for. At this point, I don't care if it screws over my brother.
I will trust your judgment. We must not let this get in their hands. Whatever they're after, it is not good for the world. Now I know why. It wasn't just a look for what happened to my grandfather. Damn it, my grandfather knew hunting after him would lead me to stumbling on all of this. Damn it, Opa!
Well,
You know I hate hard work.
I don't think it's getting any easier. I'm sorry. Pushes you a cup of coffee.
Oh, Finley greatly takes it and goes, if I had to go through this with any other individuals, I'm happy to do this with you. With all of you.
Likewise.
It would do him proud.
Finley chugs the coffee, probably burning his throat, and goes, that's what I needed. Let's go find Fred.
another thing troubles you, though, about this letter.
Oh no.
Well, it's not this letter, but you keep going through the letters as you guys are going to go find Freddy. And there's one that there was a check attached with it. And it says, please find included a check worth 100,000 marks. Which, for people at home right now, is about
Oh no.
800, almost $900,000 in today's time.
Ooh-wee.
And for anyone who's a history buff, the only people with that kind of budget is going to
German royalty.
very bad.
Squints at like like the one like those specific like people who are like, yeah, we're gonna do all the spooky occult stuff. Yeah, I wonder who it could be.
All I ask is there a name, but is there by chance a name?
Yeah,
of
like there's
Goebbels?
like hey, are
Signed-
these the
signed on that
villains from
check?
history, the villains from Hellboy, the villains from various media?
Yeah. Lizzie reads that and she's just like, oh, shit.
Oh, this is bad. Yeah, no, this is a lot of evil money.
It says from the desk of Adolf Hitler.
Oh,
No! That's worse.
Oh, god damn it!
Man signed
I
his whole
fucking
name
knew
and
it.
everything.
Because this is exactly what he would do.
Oh,
This is
God.
exactly the shit he would fund. Fuck.
Lizzie reads that, and you look over at her. Her face is just in her hands, just silent scream.
Finley's pale.
We need to get what we can find and disappear.
There's one more letter.
God
This
damn
one,
it.
this one is from Vicini Ogre, and it says, "Look behind you."
That would have been a good idea.
Oh yeah. like I can't with the escalation because you're over here like, oh yeah, it's here's the evil Hitler letter. Oh, but there's more. And I'm like, what is left?
What could be
Joseph
worse?
Stalin.
It's
Freddie,
the ending of Kingsman where they shake hands like it's a Marvel movie.
you don't know how close you were on that one?
No! Oh god.
Why? Why?
Wait, is it Mussolini?
You can't say, oh, it's the letter from Hitler, and then sign off with the letter from Mussolini.
No. There's another letter written in
God
German,
damn it.
but it's of a resistance agent
Oh.
who, in Finley, away out
Okay.
of Edinburgh in the next week or so.
Okay, that is good. Yeah.
Finley's relaying every last bit of this message.
From Edinburgh, he'll travel to Denmark, and then from Denmark, he'll be shuffled out into Russia, where he will be welcomed by the Soviet Union.
Oh goody, my brother has an escape route. Of course he does, little weasel.
I don't like that. I don't like that either, because the only thing welcoming us there is Stalin.
It's not for us. It's for Adam.
I mean, if he was to get his hands on the artifact. So, either way, we need to hide this bad boy. But we're going to use this means of getting out of here, because maybe where we need to go could potentially line up.
I don't trust anyone that's working with my brother. Present company excluded.
Then just for, paranoia's sake, Finley teaches everyone how to duck and walk in case of machine gun fire. It's like, this is how you walk when there's lots of gunfire.
That would have been helpful a bit ago in a hospital. I just like thinking, I get like a glazed over look in my eyes. Anyways,
Lizzie is weirdly good at this because it's how you walk under windows.
like all that practice with a gun, and it's like, no, I never learned to dodge. I was just brought into this. You know, this would have been so helpful a bit ago for various reasons.
You know, it's funny, I always told my grandfather he was
boy.
a terrible shot.
That is so regrettably correct. For many reasons.
So what's Freddy been up to while we've been having these
Yeah.
horrifying revelations?
What's going on?
Yeah, Freddy, you wake up to the sound of bewilderment, terror, glee, and then back to terror.
Aw.
And then Bosco.
Oh. Unlike our German friend, Freddy had the sense to at least drink a glass of water before sleeping. Just stretches, grabs their newsboy cap, puts it on, smears off. That wasn't her lipstick, but alright.
Ooh, my.
And, make sure the mice are still there.
Mice are there. There's a bottle right next to them, and they have like these tiny little cork bits that they've kind of hollowed out so that they could pour into it.
Alright. They're asleep, I'm assuming?
They are quite unconscious.
They'll lean down, just give them each a little, mwah, and then take the bottle and cap it, and then start humming an Irish tune that they heard in the bar. Which is, looking it up, one of the most popular ones at the time was... oh goodness, I just lost it, but, Kiss the Barmaid in Behind the Barrel.
You said you're whistling that or humming it?
Yeah, she's humming at it. She comes down the stairs, taking a swig from the bottle, finding wherever the coffee pot is, pouring coffee, looks at the bottle, little in the cup, sits down.
Lizzie just holds her hand out for the bottle. No words, just...
Alright, we're starting early today, love. I like it.
The mice, they're waking up and they're kind of rubbing their heads and run over as soon as they smell coffee.
So my brother's not only sacrificed people, he's working for Hitler.
We didn't beat him up enough, clearly. Alright, here you go, Mices. Puts down the mug.
He's gone. He's not here right now.
Right, we think he's trying to get smuggled out towards the Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm.
Just slides that letter over.
Good to know.
This whole situation's fucked. We need to find whatever artifacts were in the letter that Finley translated and make them disappear so the Nazis can't find them. I don't suppose you know anyone in this area who could help with that.
I mean, possibly. Let me jiggle the old noggin a bit. Is there a roll I can make to see if I have criminal contacts here?
You know that after a little bit of hitting the streets, making some acquaintances, whether in taverns or elsewhere, you would be able to find some decent low-life contacts.
And I think Lizzie hasn't done crime in this general area for a while, but she might still remember some of the watering holes. But I feel like most of her contacts are either back in London or more abroad.
Would you guys like to leave the house before breakfast and then come back once Robert and Gabriel have got you stuff ready?
Yeah.
Let's see what we can find.
You guys are all going together, or are we splitting the party?
Oh no, Finley will make sure to go with
Yeah,
everyone.
I think we've done a lot of splitting up shenanigans, and at least at the start.
Town's a big place, so you can split us up there. You have been listening to Beyond the Crumbling Veil, a Call of Cthulhu 7e actual play podcast by Styx Helix Productions as part of Pseudonym Social, a creative podcast network changing reality one story at a time. If you're enjoying this show, please consider leaving us a review on iTunes or Podchaser or wherever you're listening to help other people find this lovely spooky tale. Beyond the Crumbling Veil is DM'd by John Voman of Styx Helix Productions, with Brian as Finley Jaeger Lazarus, Ian Ramos as Gabriella Slaughter, Fennec Foxfire as Frederica Newman, and Brianna Jean as Charlene Elizabeth Amesley. The show is also produced by Brianna Jean. If you don't want to wait to find out what happens next, you can get early access to our episodes by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/pseudonymsocial. You can also find out more information about our other shows at pseudonymsocial.com and support our various productions.